Welcome to the Soul Lounge. I am the lady DJ, Shawna Renee. And for about a year or so, Kandace Springs has been one of our quiet favorites, and it is my pleasure to have her here with us to celebrate the release of her new album, Soul Eyes. Welcome, Kandace.
Hey, how are you?
Good. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's awesome to be here. Thank you for having us.
I know you've been like really, really busy, so I truly appreciate that you've taken the time out to just come hang out with us.
Oh, no, it's an honor, man. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. So
you've been performing like every night for what, like the last how long in support of the album?
Kind of since, a little bit before the album and all that for the last like 4 months or so, just nonstop. Mm-hmm. So I've counted almost about 80 shows since then. Yeah, it's been good though.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, are you one of those artists who prefers to perform as opposed to being in the studio, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Girl, I love it. It's all about the live show when you're up there. That's what it feels. Yep, that's what it's all about.
What is it? Is it the energy? Can you kind of describe sort of what makes it so special for you?
Well, one of my favorite things to do, because, performing it just feels so natural, I guess. And I love performing with a very organic band. Like I have my bass player and my drummer here, and there's no gimmicks or anything. It's all real. What you're hearing, it's very live. And I guess I look up to my favorite artists I listen to, like, Nina Simone and Roberta Flack, they're all singing, right? And so that's, I guess I get, a rush out of that. So, yeah. Those are my girls.
And I talk to a lot of soul artists, and that's something that I think they miss. They kind of miss the days when it was really just about the voice. And it was about, like, the kind of organic connection between the audience and the singer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you had an opportunity to do that, or you're having the opportunity to do that, and you're here.
Thank you.
But before we kind of get into the new album, because I got a chance to listen to a few cuts off of it, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful project. So congratulations on that. But I always like to start at the beginning.
Okay.
So like at the very beginning of your life, which started in Nashville.
Yeah.
And of course, anyone who knows anything about music or musical cities, we all know that Nashville is well known for country music.
Yep.
As it happens, my best friend is from Nashville. So I've been there plenty of times.
That's awesome.
So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not really into the country thing. She was like, no, girl, I'm going to take you to the soul of Nashville.
Yep.
So I've experienced it, but I want to know from your perspective, like, describe the soul of Nashville for people who aren't familiar.
There is a lot of soul. My dad is a soul singer in Nashville, and he's been singing it for the last 30 plus years. And he sang backup from everyone from Shaka Khan to Aretha to Brian McKnight and all the country stars, Vince Gill, Faith Hill and stuff. And he early on, I've always been submerged in the soul section of Nashville more than the country. So they have blues, R&B, rock, everything. And he's a session singer. So early on, he got me dreaming about being a soul singer and, doing that kind of stuff. And I got into jazz later. I got piano lessons from the Wooten brothers, and they live in Nashville. And, man, Nashville's just great. You walk down the street and you hear music everywhere. So it's beautiful. Yeah.
It is a beautiful town.
I love it. I still live there, so it's my place.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
So it's still home.
It's still home.
You haven't been enticed by the lure of the big city of the LA, New York.
I love LA. I love New York. I lived in New York for 3 years. I lived in LA, but Nashville's home. I have family there, and I just love the vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So talk to me about your dad. You say he was a session singer.
Yeah.
So obviously you kind of grew up in and around the business.
Mm-hmm.
So what did he teach you about the business? What did he teach you about, I guess, performing and then the music business? Because I think sometimes they're quite different.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. He would sometimes take me when I was a little girl to his sessions and stuff. I'd watch him sing, and he'd talk back. He's like, let me redo that line right there. My dad's so funny, too. And then I'll go see him kill it, and he still kills it in Nashville. He has his band there at the Printer's Alley, the famous Printer's Alley in Nashville that plays every week. And just playing live, the realness. That's where I think I learned a lot of that from. And he's like, you sing from your soul, baby. That's where you go. You sing from your soul, so that people will feel that. Mm-hmm. And he said, once you learn how to fake that, then you'll be... No, he's just kidding. But yeah, but my dad's funny.
But he was all about authenticity.
Yep, that's exactly it. And he is, yep.
Yeah, and I see that carries on even now, because I'm sure you started playing when you were 10.
Yeah, I started playing when I was 10.
When did you start singing?
Girl, I didn't even want to sing for one. That's the funny thing. My dad would pushed me. He would get me and my younger sisters in a living room and like a little community choir, I guess you could say. He would make us sing these old like gospel hymns, and we would start crying like we didn't want to sing. I was like, I don't want to sing, Daddy. He's like, sing, baby girl, you got it. And then eventually I got more confidence. What really made me take that turn to want to sing is he gave me Norah Jones's first record. I don't know why, I guess the title has come away with me. But the last song on the album is The Nearness of You, and it's a jazz standard. And I've always been obsessed with jazz. And I was like, I got to learn this song, man. It's so gorgeous. And I got the music from Books A Million, and I learned to play it, and then I debuted it when I was 15, and I was hooked since.
Yeah, and you named Norah Jones as one of your biggest influences,
Absolutely.
I assume, for that reason and for others.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think because she's just real. Like, she's actually singing. She's not overdoing anything. It's all about her tone.
Well, you also got a piece of advice from someone else. And see, I was so excited when I read this because I didn't know this about you until recently. And, with the death of Prince recently, everyone has these like incredible stories. And I've been online just reading one or watching the video. So you do too. You have this incredible story about how he influenced you. So I would love for you to share it with us.
Yeah. Well, First, you want me to tell you I met him and stuff?
Yeah, okay. Give us your Prince story.
Okay.
We're here.
So that started when back in 2014, a couple years ago, we made a video of Sam Smith's "Stay With Me," and I'm just me playing the piano and singing, and we posted it, and like literally one day later, he retweets it, and my team hits me like, "Hey, the Prince has retweeted your video." Like, no way, I didn't believe it, and then I got a direct message from him like a day later, if even, and he's like, all your dreams about to come true, who are you? And then he said, you want to come play with my band and close my 30th Purple Rain anniversary show at Paisley Park in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I was like, yeah, yeah, you better believe it, man. We were on an airplane 3 days later. Wow. And we walk into Paisley Park, and I don't see him at first, so I'm kind of looking around, and then this door opens, and I turn around, and I'm like, and then I forgot, I didn't realize how short he was. So I was like, Prince, oh my God. So I go run up there and give him a big hug. And I just didn't even think. And he was like, oh, when I hugged him. And anyway, since then we were just really good friends. And I closed the show that night. And it was just an amazing experience.
If there's one thing, and I know this is a hard question to say one, but if there's kind of one thing that you took away from your friendship with him as a person and as an artist, what would that be?
One of the main things he gave me was, and he would even call me, harassing me at times, because I went onto this other road to experimenting with other sounds and stuff that weren't as organic as I do now. And that would drive Prince so crazy. And he was like, what are you doing? He'll call me and literally harass me. And he called them my producers, too. They go back. When you play that jazz, like Rain Falling, that's the last song on the album. That's you. And talk to me. That's you. And anyway, so his advice to me was staying real to myself, like my father used to do. And eventually I got back to that. And I feel like doors have been opening and stuff. And I want to give thanks to everybody that's encouraged me for that, and Prince too. So yeah,
awesome.
Stay real, guys. Stay real.
Exactly.
Organic.
Be authentic. Be true.
Girl,
be organic. Yeah, for real.
And
so that's kind of all now come together in culmination with this new album, Soul Eyes.
Yes.
Congratulations. Now, you've released music before. You had a self-titled EP, and I know that there was a lot of stuff out there digitally, but this is sort of like your first full-length LP, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Girl back. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's start off with a song from the new album. And I'd like for you to kind of tell me a bit about the story behind the song.
Okay, as how I found it?
How you found it, what it means to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So let's start with the first song. Can we do the title track?
Yeah.
Okay. Soul Eyes. So tell me about that.
So Soul Eyes is... Man, it's a beautiful song. The lyrics are really simple, and the melody is just beautiful. And I actually first heard it from my producer. His name is Carl Sturken, and he's one of the guys that found Rihanna, and they're a development group and stuff like that. I've been working with him for the last 10 years, and he's a big jazz head, actually, even though he does a lot of pop. And if it wasn't for him, I would have never found this song. And Mary Stallings was the first one that was singing it, and it was made famous by John Coltrane. And when I first heard it, I just melted in my seat. I said, this is the most incredible song I ever heard. And it just moved me. It kind of did that same effect when I first heard Norah Jones singing Nearness of You, like maybe 12 years later. So anyway, I'd like to share a song with you. I had to name the album after it. So that's how much it means to me.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
I'm told can be both high and cold. How's one to know which way to go? So full of such lies. So darling, watch those eyes. And even more, those lies. And then you will see them smile for a long, long while. Then you know that they're the ones who will always be true. That's how that is how I found you. Found you.
Beautiful, beautiful. We've got Kandace Springs inside the VIP room here on the Soul Lounge. That was the title track to her new LP, Soul Eyes. I love the combination of the jazz and the soul. I mean, they just kind of like effortlessly blend, especially in that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you can see all of those influences. Do you have other influences besides sort of the obvious there? What else do you love to listen to, or what else influences you?
Man, I have Ella Fitzgerald's one of my favorites. Luther Vandross. You know, another one was Ava Cassidy. And I feel like she needs to be more well known than she is currently. And Roberta Flack, saying Nina Simone, Nora Jones. Erica, that's my girl.
Yeah,
Erica Badu.
yeah.
Afro Blue. Yeah, that's my girl. Yes.
Indeed.
Many. I have so many. Yeah, all the soul and really gritty. But I want, and Sade. But I feel like all of those artists have in common is that when you hear their voices, you know it's them.
Right.
You absolutely know. And that's, an inspiration to me that I'd like to be in a place like that one day.
Mm-hmm. And I was actually going through some of your YouTube videos, and I noticed that one of the songs that you performed had somewhat of like a Caribbean reggae influence. Was that kind of part of your growing up too, or is that something that you discovered later on?
It was sort of,
Yeah.
You know what? I wonder if it's, do you know which song it was by chance?
I don't remember.
Okay, yeah.
No, you were playing in a club. I've watched probably 30 videos of yours in the last 2 weeks, so I don't remember which one.
I mean, I love that kind of stuff, though.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of my favorites, though.
Okay.
Sure. Yes.
Now, and in addition, though, to watching the YouTube videos, I was kind of hanging out on your Instagram page. I'm like a low-key Instagram stalker. So
Okay.
I noticed that there was a video of you at home and in your living room, and there were instruments and musicians and just so much activity. Like, is that a normal day for you? Or was that a special occasion? I mean,
that was one of my band rehearsals. We had a big show in Nashville. Like, hey, I'm home, guys. Come on out and see our show. So we were rehearsing, and I had my Rhodes out, my grand piano, my electric piano, and then they had the drums, and it was just like a lot of noise happening.
Now, are you that kind of person? Are you the kind of person that likes to have a lot of activity, a lot of noise, a lot of music, or are you the kind of person that comes home and needs like solitude?
Honestly, I kind of like a little solitude because in my solitude, I want to start singing, man. That's my jam. So yeah, because I like to, when I'm at home, it's like my place to hide. I guess that's like my song, which is going to be the next song I'm going to perform for you as well. And it's just a place I can, express myself. When I play the piano, I'm an artist as well. I paint and I draw and stuff. So when I play, it's like another form of expressing my emotions. With sound, I guess. Music is emotion put to sound.
Well, why don't we get right into the song? That was a perfect introduction. You make my job easy, my dear.
All right, I got you. Yes, girl. Come on. This song's called Place to Hide. And it's other than Soul Eyes, my second favorite song on the album. So I will play.
If you're lonely anytime, you can talk to me when there's trouble on your mind. I will always be here to shield you from it all, the best way that I can. Anything you want from someone to hold you, the tears in your eyes will be gone, they will dry, and if you still find that you can't face the world outside, let me be your place to hide. Yeah. That's what you need. Tell your life is never cruel, and people never leave, and love's not always kind, and hearts break all the time. Even if I'm far from you, call me day, call me night, call me anytime. You need someone to hold you, the tears in your eyes will be gone, they will dry, and if you still find that you can't face the world outside, let too high.
Thank you.
And imagine this lady says she didn't want to sing. Your dad had to convince you to sing, really?
Man, it took a little while. And I was like, maybe I do like singing.
See, this is why we are supposed to listen to our parents. We always, don't always want to, but sometimes they actually do know what's best, right?
you're
Exactly.
Right. Yep.
Do you write your music? Are you a songwriter as well?
I am, absolutely, yeah.
Are you one of those songwriters that just comes from, because you mentioned Erykah Badu, and I love her as well.
Yes.
One of the things I really love about her is that it's coming straight from her gut, her heart, her being.
Yep.
Are
a
you
stank on it?
Exactly. Are you one of those, like, is it all coming from you? Do you borrow from other people's experiences? Do you have a muse, inspiration?
Honestly, all of it. Like, I listen to everybody, take influences from everybody, but ultimately I have my own, I have my own lane, I guess, if that makes sense. Yeah. Man, one of the last song on my album is called Rain Falling. I wrote that one when I was 16 years old, and it's kind of inspired by, little Stevie Wonder, but hints of George Shearing and Bill Evans and Oscar Peterson and stuff like that, a lot of the jazz greats, and but it's ultimately me, you know, and I feel like I can interpret different songs in different ways too, it's all one thing, yeah.
Are you music first, lyrics later, music first? Okay.
Definitely.
As a musician, I can understand that.
I started at the piano, and I see music in colors, if that makes sense. Like in my head, it's kind of weird, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then lyrics come later, but sometimes it's the other way. But
yeah,
that's just me though. Everybody's still different.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Are you ever like afraid? Are you like, oh, I really want to get this out, but this is so raw, or this is so personal, or like, how do you get past that, or do you have like boundaries and limits that you just won't cross when it comes to what makes it into your music?
It just depends. Depends on what you're writing about. Sometimes it's, man. It just depends, I guess. Yeah. You never know. Yeah. And you'll gain the courage up, like, okay, here's my heart.
Right.
Listen.
Or they might know it's about them.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, before we go, I want to play a little game. I have like a series of questions that I ask everyone who comes in, and this just gives us a little opportunity to kind of get some insight, into who you are. So, if you could choose your greatest source of inspiration, like now, the thing that keeps you moving when times get really tough and you're tired and your voice isn't doing what you wanted to do, what would that be, or who would that be?
Can I name two things?
Sure, yeah.
One's definitely my father, for sure. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And but number two is, getting to be out there promoting. I feel like the young generation hasn't had as much authentic, organic music in their lives as much. So going out there, just putting raw instruments in front of the young generation, stuff like that, and saying, hey, y'all can do this too. Y'all got it. So, that's an inspiration every day. I want to, keep that stuff, jazz music, jazz and soul alive. And to me, that keeps me going. Yeah.
That's real. That's real. If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Okay, there's another side of me a lot of people don't know, and I'll give you some hints. So, this year.
Okay, that's the car. Would you be making jewelry, driving?
This is my phone.
That's your phone. Okay. Okay, so
I'm a
obviously
huge car fanatic.
Okay.
I own a few cars. I can actually work on them. I can get under the hood. I can do a tune-up.
Really?
And, I can change oil. I can, anyway, I like to, negotiate things. I like to buy and sell cars sometimes, but I just love cars. Anything in that field. I used to want to be an automotive design technician, so I used to draw. I can show you some of my artwork sometime, but
totally didn't expect that.
I got a 1953 Chevy Bel Air. It's got a 350 in it with dual out exhaust.
Nice.
So I'd be probably working somewhere with the guys under the hood.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding you.
Oh God, that's awesome. I love it.
Tomboy girl.
I love it. Best answer yet. Love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about collaborations. Your dream collaboration here, and then I like to say in heaven. So someone's around, and then maybe someone who has since passed.
Okay. So, if I can work with anybody that's currently here, I think it's obvious. Stevie Wonder, because I don't know. I just love he's all about the music.
Yeah.
When he hits your soul, he gets it, man, every time. So I would love to collaborate with him. Passed away. I could say Prince. I did actually get to work with him at the beginning of this year a little bit in the studio, but You know what? Duke Ellington.
Mm.
That's it. Yeah, Duke Ellington. I thought right with man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes.
The one thing you can't leave home without.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh. Let's see. Maybe my phone. Does that count?
Yeah, totally.
That and
Absolutely.
then my artwork as well.
Okay.
Can I name 2 things? I want to.
Okay, no, that's
my
fine.
artwork. Yes.
Do you draw when
I
you're on the
draw.
road?
Yes.
And does that kind of calm you?
Absolutely.
All right.
That's why I used to draw before I did anything, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually got to draw a picture and give a portrait of Prince, and it's actually hanging at his facility to this day. And anyway, that's one of the greatest things I ever got to do in my life. So
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, that was fun. Okay, one more question: analog or digital?
Speaking of that, Prince was trying to actually show me how to use his analog equipment. This is on my birthday this year. I'm not even kidding you. And he was like, analog sounds so much better. I want to teach you how to mess around. So he was teaching me how to use the tapes and stuff like that. And you could see in another room them rolling. And then he said, okay, now you do it. And then he would leave. And I'm like, hey, wait, I'm not even okay. And then I'd man, I messed it up. I don't know, like Prince, and he run back in and just start laughing at me, like, you don't know what you're doing. But man, maybe analog, even though I still messed it up.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, you can still learn. I mean, that's a good foundation. Like I did it the first time with Prince and Prince's studio. There's always a story.
Yes.
You need a good story. Okay, awesome. Well, good. Well, before we go, I want you to go into a last song, but I would like for you to introduce your partners
Yes, I
here
would love to do
before
that.
we do that.
Okay. So on the bass, this is Jesse Bielingberg. And to pronounce that last name took me a second. Bielingberg. Okay? Bielingberg. So yeah, this is Jesse. He's a man. He can play the out of that bass. Give me a little chord. Yes. And then over here we got Dylan Tracy. He's the best, man. Isn't he cute?
He
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, Dylan.
Give me a little can you give me a little something. He's like that'll work. Okay, cool. And that's Dylan Tracy, guys.
You guys have a lot of fun. I
I got 2 handsome guys that follow me around everywhere, and it's cool.
Nothing better.
Thank you.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Oh,
yeah.
they can play it.
Well, good. Well, why don't you take me out? Thank you, first of all. I just have to say thank you again for coming here. This has been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Like I said, you've quietly been one of our favorites for a while, and so to have you here in person is just an honor, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds for you. Something tells me that this is just the beginning, my dear.
Aw, thanks, girl. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me. And I think you're beautiful, and you're a very sweet, down-to-earth person.
Oh,
thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for joining us inside the VIP room. This is the Soul Lounge. And until we meet again, make sure you take care of yourselves and each other. Want to take us out?
Yeah.
First time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes, and the moon and the stars were the gifts you gave to the dark and the ends of the skies. And the first time, ever I kissed that was there, that was there, and my command, that was there, and my first time ever I saw your face, your face, oh. Your face, your